get a chance to see all my family and friends from all over the world, man. So many great people here this weekend. I want to thank you guys for all coming. I'm fired up about this weekend, man. This is going to be an awesome weekend. I'm excited about this experience. Man, I'm so fired up right now because this weekend you're going to get a chance to really feel the heart of this company and feel the heartbeat of it. Because I know a lot of you, this is your first event, and you're going to really get a chance to feel what this company's about. And that's the magic. You know, you look at Secret and you say, wow, you know, there's so many amazing things. But it's the community that has been created here. And it's really the community was here before the network marketing was here. I mean, it started back with the Vinci family when they first came, you know, to this country. And it's just amazing to get a chance to be a part of this community and get a chance to serve this community. Real quickly, I'm just going to share with you a couple seconds about my background. It's not very impressive at all. I worked at a go-kart track before I got involved in this industry. So I used to work at Boomers, and I had a sign up that said no bumping, and that was my job. So I don't have any experience. Obviously, I don't think anybody has experience until they do something. So I didn't, you know, I was working at Boomers, so I got introduced to this industry by my brother-in-law. He called me and he said, hey, Tim, you know, I found a way to make a lot of money, and you can tell me about, you know, this industry. Long story short, I was fortunate enough to get introduced to it, fortunate enough to get around some great people, and smart enough, I guess, to learn from them. But you know, I never went to college. I went to high school. I'm not a very smart guy, so I can remember when I first came to these events, when I first got in the industry, and I was so scared and so nervous. I didn't know if I could do it. I had so much doubt. I used to say to myself, you know what? Can you really make this happen? Can you really be successful? And I would hear the speakers come on stage and train, and they seemed like they just knew what they were doing, and they seemed like they were so effective at communicating. And I thought maybe I can't do it. I used to question myself so much. But I just kept showing up to events, and it just started to kind of load my subconscious mind with these ideas that were being shared at events like this. So I always get fired up whenever, you know, we get a chance to share with people, you know, information that help change our life, so you can have the same results. Because I know some of you right now, your heart's on fire. Some of you right now, you really need this business to work for you. And some of you coming here this weekend, I know it was hard for some of you guys. I guarantee there's stories in this room of challenges and that people had to overcome to make it here. I mean, we could have a training just on the testimonials of what some of you people went through to get here, and overcoming all types of adversity. And that's what this business is about. That's what, you know, success is about, is you're going to encounter some obstacles, but the key is to stay focused on the end result. So today I get a chance to share with you some information that helped change my life that I think is going to be valuable for all of you. Usually I talk about promoting events a lot because I believe so much in what's happening here this weekend. I believe that what we're doing here this weekend is changing people's lives. And I know that there was some challenges that some of you had to go through to get here, some big time challenges, but we're going to make it worth it this afternoon, this evening, and obviously tomorrow. So just get ready. Today I'm going to train on having that breakthrough. I think a lot of people right now, you come to these events because you want to experience a breakthrough. You come to these events because you're like, look, you know what? I'm ready to change my life. And you come to these events hoping that, hey, look, you know what? That there's something shared this weekend where a light just turns on. And I think sometimes that we overestimate events and underestimate the process, because it's a process. The events will get you to take the decision, to make the decision. A lot of you this weekend, you're going to make the decision. This weekend, you're going to decide, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to step up. Some of you this weekend, you're going to say, look, you know what? This is my time to do something special. Some of you this weekend are going to say to yourself, so, you know what? This is my time to do something great. I'm going to go all out. I'm going to force results, and I'm going to make it happen. And that decision is going to be made by some of you here this weekend. But it's going to be a process. We've got to take all that we feel and all that we learn, and we've got to go back to our markets, and we've got to get out there with urgency and say, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to share with you what I found, and I'm going to share with you what I got my hands on. And we're going to get out there with urgency and excitement and share this feeling that we experienced here this weekend. So I'm fired up. I'm going to try to do the best that I can in the time restraints I have to train on this topic. I'm fired up because I know that some of you right now, you're on the verge of a major explosion. I mean, some of you right now, and some of you are on the cusp. You're on that verge of just having a major breakthrough experience. And hopefully today, some of these things that I share can help you get to that next level, and hopefully it can add value to your life. So how many of you are ready for this training to get underway? You guys ready for this? I'm fired up. I'm really fired up about this, but I'm going to dive into it right now. But first thing is this: you've got to ask yourself, hey, look, you know what? To experience a breakthrough, here's what we've got to be saying to ourselves right now: is how can I get the most out of this weekend? You come to an event like this, how can I get the most out of this weekend? What can I do to make sure that this event serves my future? And I think the number one thing is to be thankful. That's the key. And I know sometimes it's hard to be thankful when you're going through challenges, when you're going through obstacles. You've got things in your life that are roadblocks or stumbling blocks that look almost like they're impossible. And some of you have got things that are happening in your life right now where that are going on maybe with your family or with your work career or with this or with that. And you've got these things that are happening, and you look and you sometimes think, hey, how can I overcome all these challenges? But the key is to be thankful. And I know that sounds wild. And how can you be thankful for challenges? And the way that I look at it is an obstacle is really an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to grow, an opportunity for you to develop. So let's be thankful. Be thankful for what you already have. And I like what Jim Herr says about this topic, is he says, there's no better opportunity to receive more than to be thankful for what you already have. And Jim Herr says, being thankful opens the windows of opportunities for ideas to flow your way. So you think about it. You know what? Hey, let's be thankful for wherever we are. Let's be thankful that we made it this far, that we made it here. Because if we all weren't here right now, then we all wouldn't be here. Would you guys agree with that? Right? So we got to be thankful, man. And what happens is when we're thankful, guess what happens? As we open up the doors for opportunities to flow our way, for ideas that flow our way. So let's be thankful for where we are right now. And I think that's going to help us get the most out of this weekend. The next thing that I'll share with you is how to experience a breakthrough. Let's be saying to ourselves right now, hey, look, you know what? How can I get the most out of this event? Number two is to be eager to learn. That's the key. Is to load up your subconscious mind with all these ideas that you're hearing this weekend. And have that eagerness to learn. Have that eagerness to take as many notes as possible. To capture this experience, to capture this moment. So I would say number two would be being eager to learn. Number three, I think most of you would probably agree with this, is how do you experience a breakthrough? You need to be thinking to yourself, hey, look, you know what? How do I get the most out of this weekend? Is argue later. What I mean by that is some of this stuff today and this weekend that you're going to hear, you might agree with right away, and some of it you might not agree with. What I would encourage you to do is to just take it all in, to capture as much information that you can, and then go back and argue later with the ideas. If something that I say, you might say, well, you know what, I don't know if I agree with that or not. Just capture it. Take the information in, and then go home and argue it later. Because we don't have a lot of time to sit here and, hey, look, you know what, I agree with this, I don't agree with it. Just capture it all. Just soak in the entire experience. So argue the ideas later. Okay, let's just capture it all this weekend. Next thing I would share with you would be this, is to experience a breakthrough, let's be thinking to ourselves, hey, how can I get the most out of this weekend? Number four would be what? Give the gift of attention. You're going to be here. Really zone in. Capture the information this weekend. Capture as much information as you possibly can. And soak it in. Because when you go back to the market, you need to be able to recreate this experience. I like what one author said. He said, it's not what you know, but it's how you feel about what you know. That's the key. You know, a lot of times people think, oh my God, you know, I need to learn more, I need to know this. It's not so much what you know, it's how you feel about what you know. Have that passion and fill your hearts up while you're here. Hear the stories and of the people right now that are having success, and meet the people that are here and find out, hey, look, you know what do they go through? What challenges they overcome? Because guess what? Everybody right now that's here, everybody that's here this weekend right now, you can do it. Everybody in this room right now, I know for sure. If a guy like me can become successful in this industry, I know anybody can do it. 100%. If you would have saw me when I got involved, you would have said to yourself, man, this guy. You've got to believe. You've got to make that belief system. So let's give the gift of attention. Let's zero in. Let's focus in, and let's try to capture as much of this information as possible. So let's dive into this. How do we have that breakthrough? Step number one: decide what you want. We're not going to talk much about this because this weekend you're going to get a chance to hear from the great Craig Holiday talk about your why. Get ready for that. Okay. So I'm not going to talk much about decide what you want, because he's going to help you discover your why this weekend, and your heart's going to be touched. by the time when he gets done with his talk. I can trust me on that. But I'll say one thing about deciding what you want. Is this. Napoleon Hill said this. And what I do is like, look, here's my line. People always say, Tim, how come you're such a big fan of quotes? Of what other people say? Because look, everything it takes to be successful has already been said, it's already been done. It's not like we got to come up with some new information, it's already there. It's already there, let's just, it's not what I worked a go-kart track. Do you guys see that? I don't know anything about success. I didn't graduate high school, I don't know anything about success. Right? But this guy does, and if I can borrow what he said, it's a no-brainer. You guys see that? Because I'm a go-kart, I own a go-kart track. That's where I was before I got involved in this industry. Okay, 18 years ago, I stood in front of and that's the only job I've ever had. So I don't think that, hey, look, you know what, I'm going to be able to share with you much about success from being a go-kart track attorney, but hey, look, you know what, I can share with you what Napoleon Hill said, who wrote this book on success. So here's what Napoleon Hill said in his book, Think and Grow Rich. He says, there's one quality which one must possess to win, and that's the definite purpose, the knowledge of what one wants, and a burning desire to possess it. And I think the key is what? That burning desire. Right now, we've got to fill our hearts up this weekend. We've got to decide, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to step up. I'm going to get the job done. We've got to decide this weekend that, hey, look, you know what? That, hey, I can do it. I can be successful. I can win. And go out there with urgency and excitement and share the secret opportunity with everybody when we get back to our markets. So number one is what? Decide what you want. Decide what you want. Figure it out. Okay? What do you want? What do you want to have? What do you want to do? What do you want to see? What type of lifestyle do you want to live? And like I said, Craig Holliday this week is going to blow your mind with this one, so I'm not going to talk much about this one. This one I'm going to share with you a little bit. Step number 2 is positive self-talk. It's a conversation, your inner dialogue. What are you saying to yourself? You've got to be your number one biggest cheerleader. You've got to fire yourself up. People say, man, you know what? I wish Tim would get me fired up. What if I'm not there? You got to get yourself fired up. Don't be a battery, be a charger. Do you guys see that? You got to go out there and charge other people up. And if you're going around trying to get your battery charged, you're going to have challenges, guess what? Firing other people up. So let's decide right now that, hey, look, you know what? We're going to be motivated. We're going to be self-motivated. It starts with that inner dialogue. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this. And this is what William Clement Stone said about this. He says, self-suggestion makes you master yourself. It's that inner dialogue. What are you saying to yourself all day? What I found out is most people don't talk to themselves, and most people don't think. All they do is they recycle their fears, they recycle their doubts, they recycle their self-imposed limitations. You got to believe in yourself. You got to say, hey, look, you know what? I can do it. I can make it happen. I can be successful. And if you're afraid, get rid of that. We don't have time to be afraid. It's time to get fired up. And another person that talked about this in a book that I love is called Maximum Achievement, Brian Tracy. Anybody here from Canada? Brian Tracy is from Canada as well, but he says your conscious mind commands and your subconscious mind obeys. Think about this, okay? Your subconscious mind is the unquestioning servant that works day and night to make your behavior fit the pattern consistent with your emotionalized thoughts. The key is your emotionalized thoughts. When we get fired up about the thoughts that we have, okay, your hopes and desires, your subconscious mind grows either flowers or weeds in the garden of your life, whichever you plant by the middle, whichever you plant by the middle equivalent you create. So it's really, whatever you think is going to become a reality, is what Brian pretty much is saying here. Another one, Napoleon Hill says, plain, unemotionalized words do not influence your subconscious mind. You will get no appreciable results until you've learned to reach your subconscious mind, your thoughts, or spoken words, which you have been well emotionalized with belief. Bottom line, what do these guys talk about? Is get fired up. That's the deal. That's the deal. Right? What does all that mean to me? Let me translate that into, because I know somebody here might work in a go-kart track, right? Sorry about that. But here's all Napoleon Hill saying to me is what? Right? Is get fired up, man. Get fired up with your inner dialogue. Right? Not just, I'm going to make it happen. I'm a champion. Man, you got to get jacked. You got to be enthusiastic. You got to be saying, man, I'm fired up right now. It's to yourself. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. To yourself. You got to be saying, hey, man, I'm so excited right now. That's the key. It's that inner dialogue. That's the magic piece, because that's what's going to get you, guess what? To be, to be attracted to attract other people to your business and your life. is guess what? Is get fired up. Have that excitement inside your head. And here's the bottom line. This is the way that my mentor taught it to me. Is he said, hey, look, you know what? The mind has two parts. This is what he taught me. He said, the mind has two parts, the thinker and the prover, okay? Where the thinker thinks, the prover must prove. What does that mean? Basically like this. Your subconscious mind is the prover, and your conscious mind is the thinker. Whatever you think about yourself, is going to show up. You're going to prove it. What do you think about you? What do you think about you? And whatever you think about you, guess what? Your life, if you think, man, you know what? I can do this. I can make it happen. I can become successful. I can win. And you get fired up about that. Guess what happens? It's going to show up. Whatever you think is going to be proved by your brain. That's the way my mentor taught it to me. And that made too much sense to me. I thought to myself, you know what? I need to start thinking more positive thoughts. I need to start pumping myself up. I need to start getting fired up. So let's decide right now that, hey, look, you know what? This weekend, we're going to decide that, hey, we're going all out. After this weekend, that we're going to make it happen. That we're going to step up. Some of you right now, you're ready for a breakthrough. Yeah. You're ready to take that experience. Am I right? This is it. This is our time. This is our time to make it happen. Our time to do something special. Our time to do something great. Here it is. Step 3. I got 5 steps, so I got to start going a little bit faster. Okay? So if I start going really fast, I apologize. Okay, but this is the best you can get. It's going to go to the room. Stay part of your mind, right? You got to guard your mind. This is big. This is a big. Because now, hey, look, you know, we've decided what we want. Okay, we've decided, hey, look, this is what we're going to want. This is what we're going to have. This is what we're going to do. And then we start believing in ourselves. We start saying, hey, look, you know what? And you start getting fired up about the way that you feel. And you start having that enthusiasm. My mentor told me about enthusiasm. He says, enthusiasm is the way that you hold life's possibilities that shows up in your demeanor. He said, enthusiasm is the way that you hold life's possibilities that shows up in your demeanor. The way that you walk, the way that you talk. You have this infectious enthusiasm about you. And I'm not talking about everybody's enthusiasm is a little bit different. I'm not telling you to be like kind of how Tim Herr is, which is kind of almost frantic, who's all fired up. But be you fired up. You guys see that? Right? If you're fired up, you notify your face. That's a good place to start. Communicate my message. I'm really excited. You might want to send an email to your face just to let it know you're excited, right? Get excited, right? But stand guard of your mind. This is a big one. Why is this so big? Here's what Albert Einstein said. Albert Einstein said, great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. You see what I'm saying? So it's a given. Somebody's like, well, you know, my family, my friends negative. I hope so. If you're a great spirit, you're going to encounter a little bit according to Albert Einstein. I'm no Albert Einstein. You guys see that? I'm not even in this. I'm not even in this, you know. Okay, well, I'm probably the exact opposite. He's a genius and I'm, you know, on the other side. Makes the genius possible. Here's what he said. He said, great spirits have always, not sometimes. Think about what Albert Einstein said. Great spirits have always. Always is pretty. I mean, that's a lot. Would you guys agree with that? Always is something that's kind of reoccurring. Would you guys agree with that? Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Like, that might be the greatest thing ever to be said. I've been that person. Wow. Huh. How do you come up with something that great? That's amazing. Think about how true that is. You're going to run into violent opposition. You're going to have people out there that are going to tell you that you can't do it. That's when that inner dialogue has to come into play. That's when that inner conversation where you say, look, you know what? I am going to win. I am going to make it happen. And let that violent opposition get you fired up. Let that violent opposition motivate you. So guess what? Albert Einstein said it, who else said it? I like David Greenberg. David Greenberg, he's got to hit a home run with this one. He says what? A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks that others have done. Do you guys see that? That's hot. I had so many bricks on me, I was able to build a castle. You guys What's he saying? Right? There's going to be people out there that are going to say, hey, look, you know what? You don't have what it takes. There's going to be people out there that are not going to be big fans of part of your, the fan club, your success fan club. And sometimes what hurts is, guess what? When it's the people that stand to benefit the most from your success. That's when it really hurts. When you're getting bricks thrown at you from the person that's laying in bed with you. Right? I know some of you have that. But guess what? We're going to make it happen anyways. How about that? Yep. How about we're going to make it no matter what? I like that idea better. No matter what, having that attitude that says, hey, look, you know what? Nothing can stop me. Nothing can get my way. Over, under, through. I'm going to win. I'm not just going to be a part of this secret community. I'm going to help this secret community grow. I'm going to help this secret community succeed. We're going to take this thing around the world. Why? Because that just makes too much sense. Would you agree with that? David Brinkley, you should have done that. So stay guard in your mind. Stay guard in your mind. Step number 4, take continuous action. This is good. I like what Leonardo, what is that, Da Vinci? That guy was successful. Sure. I've heard of his name before. What did Leonardo da Vinci? Is it okay if I have fun? Yeah! I know some of these guys are a little bit more serious. Line it up! I'm just excited and happy. Here it is. Here's what Leonardo da Vinci said. He says, I've been impressed with the urgency of doing. Urgency. I like that word, urgency. I've been impressed. This guy's impressed by that, by the way. He's impressed with urgency. If you got urgency, you're impressing Leonardo da Vinci. That's a good way to impress. Did you guys hear that? Urgency, man. Urgency. Right now. I mean, urgency. Right now, we're going to make it happen. And when I close out this talk, I'm going to share with you guys something that'll blow your mind about urgency called the law of diminishing intent. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but it says, knowing is not enough. That's hot. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Being willing is not enough. We must do. You got to take continuous action. Not when you feel like it. That's the key. Not when you feel like it. Not like, oh, I feel good today, so, oh man, I hope the world's ready. Do it first, man. My mentor told me, he said, action precedes motivation, man. You got to take action. Jerry West said what? He goes, if we only work hard on the days we feel like we're never going to accomplish much. Get fired up, man. Just get fired up and go out there. Don't worry, oh man, I don't feel like it. Do it anyways. Take action. Day in and day out. Why? Because your dreams are waiting. Your dream and the life that you want to live is waiting for you. It wants you just as bad as you want it. So let's step up and take action. Let's step up and have urgency so we can impress Leonardo da Vinci. I know everybody loves this book. It's ready. If you don't love it, it's because you haven't read it. Listen to the song. Anthony Robbins says what? A lot of good stuff. One thing that he said that I wrote down here is, a real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken new action. There it is right there. A real decision is measured. So we can actually, guess what? Measure decision. How can you measure decision? How are you taking new action? Some of you are like, man, you know what? I'm going to decide. I'm going to decide right now that I'm going to go back to my markets and I'm going to step up. Some of you are like, look, man, when I get home, I'm going to go all out. Some of you are like, man, during the break, I'm not even going to wait. I'm going to make phone calls now and overlook my schedule while I'm here in Orlando. Why? Because just to be able to say, hey, I'm in Orlando, man, I just found something. When I get back, I got to sit down and talk to you about it. That's hot. So guess what? Some of you are going to overbook your schedule this weekend while you're here. Then guess what? That means that you've decided. Why? Because you've taken new action. A real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken new action. If there's no action, you haven't truly decided. Think about that. Let's decide right now. Let's decide right now, together, right here, that we're going all out. That we're going to step up. That that we're going to go all out massive action and that we're going to win. Why not? It just makes too much sense. So this is a good one. Oh gosh. This is number 5 out of the 5. Master your emotions. God, I love this. This is a good one. Master your emotions. Unbelievable book, by the way. If you haven't read this book yet, your family deserves for you to read this. It's a book by Chris Prince. It's called Zen and the Art of Happiness. And in this book, he states, it says, the more you engage in any type of emotion or behavior, the greater your desire for it will become. That's hot. Think about that. The more you engage in any type of behavior, any type of emotion. In that book, he says, some people are addicted to being depressed.
Right.
Addicted to it. Think about that. It's an addiction. Why? Because the more that you engage in any type of emotion, guess what happens? The more that you engage in it, guess what? The more your desire for it becomes. So guess what we've got to get addicted to? We got to get addicted to making it happen. We got to get addicted to becoming a success, making decisions that are going to alter our lives right now, and taking that action, all out massive action. We've got to make a commitment today that says, hey, look, you know what? I'm ready to win. I'm ready to make it happen. I'm ready to step up. This is my time to do something special. You've got to be thinking right now, hey, look, you know what? This is my time to do something great. Nothing's going to stop me. Over, under, do that. I'm going to get there. And I'm going to win. And I'm going to make it happen. Why? Because I'm going to take control of, guess what, my emotions. I'm not going to let whatever's happening out there, the government shut down. Okay? All right? I know that is. Here's what we know for sure. I like this one from Buddha. Buddha said, holding on to anger is like drinking poison expecting the other person to die. Why? Some of you have that anger that you just hang on. You let yesterday's clouds ruin today's sunshine. You look in the rearview mirror too much. When you're driving, they have a big windshield, don't we? And we have a small rearview mirror for a reason. You understand? You use the past to learn from it, but guess what? Don't beat yourself up over it. Do you guys see that? I'm just reading from other people. Not for me. I don't know anything. This is what I found out. And I'm just sharing with you, relaying information. I'm just a conduit to this, to all these smart people. That's all it is. Look at Albert Einstein said. Not Albert Einstein again. You brought him back? Oh yeah, Albert's here. Sometimes when you're doing a training, you just got to dibble Albert Einstein, okay? Albert Einstein said what? Oh God, this is hot. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not people or things. Wow. There it is right there. Ding, 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 ding. That's the magic right there. Think about how powerful that is. If you want to live a happy life, I don't think anybody here is not open-minded to that concept. Would you guys agree with that? I don't think anybody in here is saying, hey, look, you know what, I don't want to be happy, I don't want to be happy, I don't want to be happy. So it's safe to say that we all want to live a happy life. What did Albert Einstein say about that? That's what Albert Einstein said. Not Tim Herr, but Albert Einstein. He's not here today, but guess what? If he was, this is what he would say, okay? If you want to live a happy life, that's probably a desire that we all say, hey, look, you know what? I'm interested. Tie it to a goal. Let me tell you why. When you're going after something, that's what it's about. When you're going in the direction of your dreams, you're going in the direction of your goals, guess what's happening? You feel good. That's what it's about. You're going to be happy, not because, guess what, you get the goal. It's not like, hey, once I get this goal achieved, then I'm happy. Once I hit, this pin or this rank or this position, once I get this many aureoles, then guess what? Now I'm going to be happy. No, it's the goal itself, going after it. Going after the goal is where the happiness comes from. So guess what? Don't tie your happiness to people. Too many people say what? Here's what too many people say. And I know some of you heard it happen, and some of you even said it before. You make me mad. I'm sure some of you, if you've ever had a relationship with someone, you probably said, you make me mad. What I found out is, guess what? Whenever you say, hey, you make me mad, that means that they control your happiness. You have no control over your happiness. You just gave that to someone else. Happiness is an inside job. But guess what? So is being unhappy. So let's make the decision right now, but guess what? We're going to take control of our what? Our emotions. Take control of our mind and say, hey, look, you know what? I'm not going to tie my happiness, okay, my life, I'm not going to tie it to a person. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't mean, hey, look, you know what, don't go out there and love. I'm telling you that, okay, love, but here's the deal, is guess what? When I love, my wife and I, we've been blessed for the last 16 years, have a great marriage, and when I love my wife, why? Because the way it makes me feel to love her. You guys see that? Not because I'm expecting her to make me happy. Let's take responsibility for happiness. I'm not going to get into some Dr. Phil session. All right, maybe I am. That was too funny. Just in case you didn't laugh, I'll let you know. Here's your I'm telling you, I'm really Dr. Phil, so relax. But here's what he said, is you create your own experience. You cannot dodge responsibility for how and why your life is the way that it is. He says if you are not happy, you're accountable. Don't play the role of the victim or use past events to build excuses. You never will fix a problem blaming someone else. Every choice you make, including your thoughts, you have consequences, okay? When you choose the behavior or thought, you choose the consequences. Basically, it's like this. Let's just accept responsibility. Let's accept responsibility for happiness and decide right now that, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy no matter what. I'm going to be happy no matter what. No matter what happens, I'm going to be happy. Why? Because it just makes too much sense. If that option exists, why not go after it? Okay, so we're all going to be happy, okay? That's a no-brainer. So let's talk about it. I'm going to wrap this thing up here right now. How many of you right now, this weekend, are fired up about your dreams? How many of you guys are? Seriously, if the fire marshal came in here right now, I wouldn't be surprised because that's how fired up I am. But here's the deal. Jim Rohn. We got to go back to Jim Rohn. I'm going to let Jim Rohn close this training out. He started out, so we're going to let him close it too. So here's what Jim Rohn would say if he was here right now. He would say the 4 emotions that can lead to life change. Number 1 is, guess what? Disgust. Disgust. Jim says, hey, disgust is a negative emotion but can have a very positive effect. Disgust is a habit. This weekend you're going to get a chance to hear from Josh Dinney. You look at how his life changed. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Because he decided, hey, look, you know what, I'm disgusted. And I'm telling you this because I had a chance to be there. And you can see the fire in his eyes. He's like, you know, my family deserves more. My daughters deserve more. I'm going to change it. And he took that motivation because of the challenges he went through. Sometimes, man, you just got to get disgusted. You just got to say, you know what? This is it. Right now. Right now. I'm not going to live like this anymore. I'm going to change it. My family deserves it. I know some of you right now, you guys, I know some of you right now, your heart's on fire because you love your family so much. They deserve it. You deserve it. It's okay to get disgusted, as long as you don't stay there. If you don't like the way that your life is going, change it. The good news is, hey, we're not birds. Isn't that great? Right? If we were birds, we would have the ability to change it. Birds can only go south in the wintertime. You guys know that? No matter how motivated they are. Right? No matter how fired up they are, they've got to go south. Because of what? Instinct and the genetic codes, right? But guess That's what we are. We're human beings. We don't like the way the life is going. Guess what we have the opportunity to go to do? Rewrite it. Change it. Change our life. Change your life right now. Decide, hey, and I know some of you are like, oh, my life's not that bad. Here's the deal. The thing that stops people from having a great life is good. The biggest killer of massive success is mediocre success. You deserve more. You deserve to have them. And you're going to see recognition this weekend. We need you up here. We need you up here. Getting your way. You up here. Coming up on stage and sharing your testimony. So you guys are fired up. Get disgusted, man. This is it. We're ready right now. I mean, that's a powerful emotion. Gosh, Jim, thank you very much for that one. All right, Jim, I just popped up too because I got too motivated. I don't know how to push the back button. Maybe it froze, I don't even know. But here's what I know for sure. Decision making. That's a big one. Decide right now that, hey, you know what? This is it. This weekend is about you. This weekend is about your dreams and your goals. And decide right now that we're going to change it all. Decision making. Very powerful experience. Number 3 is what? Desire. That's what Jim Rohn says about desire. He says, desire sometimes waits, and you never know when the awakening might be. The awakening might be a situation that happens this weekend. It might be during the break. During the lunch break, or maybe during the breakout session this weekend. Or maybe it's a conversation in the lobby with one of your team members. It might be a song. But that desire is there. That desire is in all of us. And some people, they come in this opportunity, they come in sacred, and that desire is already there. They show up, that desire is on fire. You see somebody like Josh Wise, when Josh came in, you just knew. You see the guy, you're like, oh my God, the mark's on this guy's fired up. That desire is just everywhere.